This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. We're here at the Macquarie Woodall press conference. Delighted to be joined by the man that was the last on the channel a couple of weeks ago, Conor Quinn. Conor, we're obviously not going to have much to speak about, obviously, because obviously done your announcement for the fight. But I guess, you know, when you were obviously coming back to boxing last September, would you have obviously ever, thought within a year? Obviously it's now going to be your sixth fight within a year, but obviously you could be fighting in Falls Park. Somewhere obviously you've grew up very close to. It's sort of nearly a surreal moment sort of still for you this is happening.
Yeah, that's it. I always remember the Fela shows being on the Falls Park. I've never actually been to any of them. I think I was in Australia and then I missed them, but listen, I've always wanted to box there. I was up seeing it the other day with Keelan and it looks amazing. I never really thought that I would have got these opportunities so soon in my career. I've boxed in the SSC twice obviously, and then now we're going for the Falls Park, which is the two places I've always wanted to box. So I'm just delighted. I can't wait for Friday night. I think this is probably the most excited I've ever been for a boxing fight in my whole career, and I just can't wait to get going.
Obviously fighting outdoors as well. Obviously I know from Paddy will have told you obviously stories of him obviously fighting there, but I remember in 2019 it was sort of sloped, so you're sort of nearly going uphill to fight and I guess obviously they'll make them sort of adjustments. But the opponent obviously you have on Friday, Brian Castro, you're obviously supposed to be fighting obviously in the Europa obviously before you obviously are pulled with injury, so obviously another Niagaran opponent. They obviously can be very durable. Is it for you? You're obviously going to want to put out a performance there as well, because you're not signed to Conor Boxing. You're obviously under Mark Dunlop, but obviously you want to keep people talking in your name. You're obviously closing in on titles. Is this what are you planning to sort of put on a stoppage on Friday night? Or obviously just going to enjoy? We know you obviously you obviously say if you hit something clean that they're out of there. What's your plans? Obviously get into Friday.
Yeah, no, definitely. The guy, I've seen a bit of him. He looks good. He's handy enough and he looks tough and durable and stuff. So listen, you never go out obviously looking to knock out, but if the opportunity comes, I'll be the first person to take it. I like hurting my opponents. I like landing heavy shots, and obviously if he's going to come in and maybe go on the move, it'll make it a wee bit harder. But if he comes and stands in the middle of the ring and fights with me, then no, I'll definitely be looking to put him away.
Obviously you are on Paddy's undercard, obviously Paddy's main eventing, but obviously I guess it shows to you. Obviously you've been in the gym with him obviously since you came back home from Australia. You've seen all the hard graft he's done. He is probably the ideal sort of person you could have to sort of show you the way and you need to go, because he had his breakout performance in 2019 stopping Steve Collins for his first title, and now look 4 years later there he's headlining the card. So it shows you the blueprint of where you want to go in your career.
Yeah, definitely. Paddy's a main event obviously, and I think it was always going to be Paddy after Mick not being on the show, and I think he's the right guy to do it, and obviously with it being so local to him as well, it's an amazing opportunity for him. And I think, like I said, if you're looking at blueprint of careers, look at what Paddy's done in the past 2 years. He's went from maybe sort of like a middle card fighter and just sort of maybe lower level opponents to all of a sudden getting a breakthrough, taking it with both hands and just going on and wiping everyone out. So listen, all you can ask for is a boxer's opportunities, and you have to go and deliver on it then yourself, and Paddy's done exactly that, and that's what we all want to do.
How's he been in obviously the gym in the last couple of weeks? Because obviously we obviously know, we always have the banter and everything else, but how's he been obviously since the announcement? I haven't sort of seen him in person sort of since it's been announced, so how's he been? Obviously is there an extra buzz about him? Obviously is he a bit more prankster? Obviously now he's a boxing manager as well. Obviously he's Jared under the wing, so is he obviously big time Charlie now? Obviously his main event, and he's actually a manager in boxing now as well. Has he changed in the last few weeks?
No, I don't think so. I think he's been alright. I think with Paddy, like I said, it was sort of like a natural progression. Whenever Michael Conlon's not on the show, I think it was always going to be Paddy, and I think he knew that himself, and I think it's probably been a long time coming for him now to get this opportunity. So it was like a full circle moment, it came back around, and now he's the main event, and it didn't come as a shock to anyone, and there was no changes in the gym. He always gives 100%, and he always will, and obviously now he's signed Jared, and Jared's on the show, so he's looking at it from two different perspectives, which is good, and it's good for us young fighters to see that from that point of view. Obviously Mark's my manager and Jamie's Paddy's manager, and now Paddy's managing Jared, so it's good. You get a wee bit of an insight into the game, and a wee bit of inside information sometimes if you're lucky.
I guess when obviously you walk out in the Falls Park obviously on Friday night and sort of knowing obviously you've been there obviously as a kid and everything else, like everybody's sort of been in Falls Park as a kid, do you think if you stand in the middle of Falls Park fighting and you're actually getting ideally paid for fighting as well, will you sort of have to sort of, it'd be hard to pinch yourself with gloves on, but you sort of be standing there and be going, this is mental. Like, how's that mental aspect sort of for you, obviously knowing that you're going to walk in the middle of Falls Park, everybody's obviously going to be there cheering you on. Is it sort of going to take you a minute or two to sort of realise going, I'm actually having a professional fight in the middle of a grass pitch in Falls Park?
I think so. I was even thinking about it the other day there. I always drive to the fights, park up, drive home, and I was actually thinking to myself there, there's probably nowhere closer for me to park to the Falls Park that you're actually going to get out, and because the place will be mental rather than my own door. So I'm actually sitting there thinking, Jesus, it is a bit surreal. Like, it's just up the street everywhere you walk past every day. And even my wee nephew, he loves the Falls Park, and I was telling him the other day that I was fighting there and he couldn't really wrap his head around it. No, he was asking me hi and what are they going to do with the slides and all he was saying. But no, it's brilliant. I think it'll be class, and I love a Chinese after the fight. I'll be straight out after Paddy's fight down, get a Chinese home, and then look forward to the next one then.
So you're not thinking of a Scott Quigg style ring walk in from the house? Obviously everybody takes the piss out of that. Obviously when Scott Quigg fought in Bury, he always was able to sort of mimic a ring walk from the house. You're not having thoughts of doing a ring walk from the house on Friday?
No, not at all. Jesus, fridge and backs as far as I would walk, Morty, to be honest with you now. But I know Sean done it before, didn't he? He done it in one of the field of cards, and his was brilliant. He had the whole crowd with him. But listen, I think I'd be a wee bit... You wouldn't really want to talk to me before a fight. I'm a wee bit switched on, and everyone takes it differently, but I'll be getting the lift up to the park and then I'll maybe walk back. I'll see how things go.
Well, listen, thanks very much for your time as always. Always enjoy the last couple of obviously days before a fight night, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you afterwards to see how you get on.
Thanks very much, Morty. Thank you.
Cheers, Conor. Thank you.